Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Just sort of, well, it's a Sunday today. Just walking through the woods where I live with my old 13-year-old dogs. It's one of those classic Sundays where you've got 3 kids and none of them have done their homework. They've just been playing computer games all weekend. So it got to sort of late morning at home, and the girlfriend, I could hear her upstairs just kicking off at them all. So I thought I'll go out for a walk. That's probably the best thing. Saves me having to kick off at them as well. So best for them that I do that probably. So just sort of carrying on from the last 2 videos that I've been doing, where I've been talking a little bit about French life, what it's like to live in France, the pros and the cons, and also talking about my dad as well, and how I'm sort of going through the grief process and dealing with all that, because it's different for everybody. It's my first time experiencing any of that, so I'm finding it quite hard. Carrying on from yesterday, when after my dad died, my mum was in such a mess, as you can imagine. She was, borderline suicidal. She didn't want to live anymore. Didn't want to live without him. Because they were so close together. They were just, inseparable. So yeah, it's very hard when you've got such a tight relationship like that, when one of them's gone. The other one is, goes through a hell of a lot. And because I was living next door to my mum at the time, I felt like I had to sort of try and be as strong as I could for her, I couldn't fall apart at the seams, because she needed someone strong to to help her out, sort of thing. So because my dad died a fairly long, slow, painful death with cancer, he battled it for 2 years or whatever, I'd sort of had the time to sort of prepare myself in my mind. It's not like it was, I could see it coming, sort of thing. It wasn't a total shock. So like when he died, obviously I knew that I had to grieve for my dad, but I just sort of blocked it all out. I shouldn't have done. I just sort of put it all on under the carpet type thing. I had 6 weeks off work when all that happened, because when he was like really ill, he was at home in a hospital bed, and there was like a nurse that came around twice a day. But having a nurse come around twice a day isn't enough when you're in that sort of state of terminal cancer. You need like round the clock care. So the last 4 weeks of my dad's life, I wanted to be at home with him so I could spend every minute I had with him. Plus my mum needed help, because he's obviously bed bound, so bed baths, that sort of thing. My dad was wearing like these fucking nappies at the time as well, because he obviously couldn't go to the toilet. So just trying to lift him, just to change the nappy, it took like 2 of us to do it. It wasn't easy. So I spent the last 4 weeks of his life sort of by his side, pretty much. And after he died, I had an extra 2 weeks off, and then just went straight back to work, because I thought, I need to be around my mates at work and that sort of thing. But looking back on it now, I should have taken more time off. That's what the occupational doctor told me when I told her that I went back to work after 2 weeks. She thought I was mad. She said that when one of her parents died, you know, she had a year off work, and that's a doctor. So yeah, I should have done what she did, really, taken more time off to grieve, do the whole grieving process properly. So yeah, so my mum, she stayed in France for about a year after he'd passed away. But sort of collectively we made a decision that it was best for her to go back to England. She had more of a circle of friends over there. Didn't really have that many friends here in France. So she moved back to Teignmouth. But the only way that she could do that was she had to sell the house type thing, which we sort of owned together. And so me and my girlfriend made a decision to buy her out of the property, because I already owned like a quarter of it. So yeah, so me and my girlfriend got a mortgage together. That way we could give my mum 200 grand so that she could go and buy a flat in Teignmouth. That's where she's ended up. It's quite a nice part of the world, for England anyway. So she did that. So me and my missus and the kids, we're sort of living. We moved out of my little house that I had next door and into the bigger house, because we've got 3 kids. So, and also partly my mum wanted to sell up or move out, because obviously, like, my dad had done this house up all by himself, so there was too much of everything that reminded her of him, Whereas I'm different. I'm not like that. I like the fact that I'm living in the house that my dad did up. I sort of see him everywhere type thing. I like that sort of constant reminder. Sort of lets me feel like I'm still close to him. Yeah, it's hard to explain. You'll know what I mean if you go through it. So yeah, so the whole sort of grieving process, because my dad was in such a shit state, it does leave a sort of indelible mark on you. But when you experience that sort of thing, it's best not to, you can't remember them. You can't remember them in that state, it won't do you any good. You got to remember them when they were fit and healthy. You can't dwell on the shit experience of watching someone die of cancer. You got to just try and blank that. Concentrate on all the good times that you had with them. That's what I do. Sounds like this tree's going to fall on me. I don't know. So yeah, you just got to keep on a more positive twist, I find. Just remember all the good times that you spent together. I mean, I'm lucky. I've got loads of good memories from my dad. We did so much together, and he did so much for me. I mean, I find myself, because I'm off work at the moment, so when the kids are at school and the missus is at work, there you go, almost fell over. I've got a lot of time to myself at the moment when I'm at home, and I sort of find myself, obviously, watching these videos, you'll see that I talk to myself a bit, but I find myself sort of talking to myself at home, but it's almost like I'm sort of having conversations with my dad. And I feel like I can sort of, it's almost like I can ask him questions. And because I knew the guy so well, I sort of know how he'd reply to them. I sort of ask him for his advice on things, and if I do sort of feel like he is still around somewhere. Do you know what I mean? I find he does still give me advice, pointing me in the right direction maybe sometimes. I don't know, it's weird. It's a tough one to try and explain and put into words. So yeah, I think that's That's the best way to deal with grief, really. Just try and remember the good times. Don't remember the bad times. That's a bit scary, that is. So yeah, that's my take on grief. It's an ongoing process. I don't think you ever really get over it. Do you know what I mean? I don't think you ever get over losing someone. But yeah, so I'm going through the sort of like the afterlife process, I suppose. Reminds me a bit of that Ricky Gervais series on Netflix called Afterlife, where he loses his wife to cancer. I watched that. I thought that was really good. Watching that sort of helped me a bit, helped me get through it. As well as, you know, I've got the support of my girlfriend and kids. Kids take your mind off things. The shit they get up to. You don't need a telly in our house. The bloody kids. They're just non-stop. I'm sure you'll understand that if you've got kids. So yeah, so I think I'll wrap up this this little trilogy of therapy videos that I've done. I tried to make this one a little bit more upbeat compared to yesterday's film. So let me know what you think. Leave a comment. Leave a like. Keep subscribing to the small channels. Everyone needs help. Everyone's struggling at the moment. And I'll catch up with you in the next one. So thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. It's all good. I appreciate it. And leave a comment if you've gone through any of the sort of topics I've discussed in these last few videos, and we can have a little chat about it. Because, like I said before, talking about the issues you're dealing with, it is the best way to get through it. You're not alone. Don't ever think you're alone or anything. There's always tomorrow. So yeah, I'm gonna crack on. Go and have some lunch. Hopefully the boys have done some homework. Chance will be a fine thing. It's always the same. Leave it all to the last minute. But then again, I can't really say anything. I was exactly the same. So there you go. So I'll leave you with that. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and I'll catch up with you in the next one. Okay? All right. Take care. Bye bye.